Welcome back to another YouTube video. Today's YouTube video is going to be specifically for my newer powerlifters that want to compete for the first time. We're going to be talking about bench press commands and stuff to look for before your first powerlifting meet. All of the rules and regulations that I'm going to be talking about in today's video are going to be from USA Powerlifting's rulebook. So if you plan on competing under USA Powerlifting or an IPF affiliate, these rules can apply to you and your first powerlifting meet. I am also bench pressing today, so we're going to go through our entire workout, but I'm going to talk to you guys mostly about the start, press, and rack command. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, especially if you're a beginner powerlifter, because all of my content is tailored specifically for you and helping you guys improve your powerlifting total before you compete in your first powerlifting meet. So before we get started on actual bench press, I can talk about the equipment that you're allowed to use on bench press itself before you even get onto the platform. You're allowed to use wrist wraps, you're allowed to use a belt, you're allowed to use heeled shoes, flat shoes. You're allowed to use knee sleeves too. I don't think many people do use knee sleeves for bench press, but you are allowed to use them on bench press. You're not allowed to use elbow wraps. You're not allowed to use like any supportive equipment underneath your singlet. Okay, let's start working out. The main reason why I wanted to make this video is because a lot of powerlifters, especially if you're new, they tend to complain after not receiving a certain command at the speed that they would have liked it at. I commonly see this with bench press, for example, like the start or the press command. A lot of newer powerlifters kind of get frustrated because of how long they're not receiving the command. The main purpose of this video today is talking about things that the judges are looking for in order to get the commands faster. Let's get started with the first command that you're gonna receive on bench press, and that's gonna be the start command. I made sure to write everything I wanted to say down so I didn't forget anything that I wanted to talk to you guys about. So with the start command, this is the first command you're gonna be getting once you get underneath the bench press. There are a few things that the judges are gonna be looking for before you receive the start command. That's gonna be elbows locked, heels planted, and butt on the bench. In powerlifting, you'll see a lot of powerlifters unrack the barbell with their hips high in the air. Like I'm someone that does this also. If you do this type of unrack, don't expect to get the start command until your hips are on the bench. The judges will also be looking for the barbell to be under your complete control before they give you the start command. So if you're kind of wobbly and shaky all over the place, you're not gonna get the start command. A really big reason why powerlifters don't get the start command as soon as they'd like is because of their elbows. Whenever you're unracking the barbell, you wanna make sure that your elbows are fully extended with the barbell over your body. If you have a little bit of softness, depending on how strict the judges are, they're not gonna give you the start command until they feel like your elbows are completely extended. Some federations don't care if your heels are planted at all during the bench press, but the federation that I compete in does care, so that's the reason why I said that. But yeah, those are the few main things that the judges are looking for before you start your actual rep. And trust me guys, you don't want to miss any of these. Holding the barbell with a maximal effort weight over your body for a significant amount of time is going to drain you. So you want to make sure that you're doing everything correctly so you don't waste any energy. The second command is probably the one that frustrates powerlifters the most, and this is going to be the press command. There are so many different types of bench press techniques, like soft touching, hard sinking, arching, not arching. The press command needed to be a universal rule to be able to judge every single type of technique for bench press. The main thing I wanted you guys to know with the press command is that the judges look for the barbell to be completely motionless on top of your sternum. If you're wearing a belt on bench press, you are not allowed to touch the barbell on your belt. You're also not allowed to heave the barbell. So if you do a hard sink, you kind of can't throw it up off of you because that's illegal in powerlifting. Make sure that whenever the barbell is over you, that it's not moving. Once it's not moving for say half a second to a second, then the head judge will give you the press command. So if you're wondering why you didn't get that press command and you see in your video that it's kind of shifting a little bit on top of your chest, that's why you didn't get it. You need to make sure that you're in complete control of the weight. It's on top of your chest, it's not moving, then they'll give you the press command and then you drive it back towards the rack. I say that a majority of powerlifters have gotten frustrated with this command in particular because I've seen a lot of powerlifters get kind of, screwed over with a really long press command because they're not controlling the weight properly on top of their body. But another thing, guys, I'm teaching you how to do things correctly. Do not jump any of these commands also, especially. And I made these mistakes too. When I first started powerlifting, I jumped a down command in my first meet for deadlift, and it was the worst feeling in the entire world because it was so easy. Obviously, it's my deadlift opener, but I missed it on technicality. So make sure you guys don't jump anything. And finally, guys, the last and final command that you receive on bench press is the rack command. This is probably the easiest one to get. All you have to do is basically complete the repetition and come to the same position that you were in during the start command. If you can get into the same position as you were during the start, then you're going to be in a fantastic spot to finish out that rep. And you're gonna get the rack command from the head judge, and then you are able to complete the lift. I guarantee you guys, getting a successful bench press, but then jumping the rack command is like the ultimate blue balls in powerlifting. But yeah, that's all 3 of the commands on bench press. I'll provide screenshots of the rule book on the screen during this video. But hopefully you guys can learn something from this too. If you're new to powerlifting, make sure you understand all 3 of these rules, and then keep that in mind when you're on the platform, when you're warming up, when you're training. Pro tip to you guys, if you're in a meet prep right now, use commands in training for your singles, especially during bench press singles. Bench press is the only lift where you have 3 commands. So practice makes perfect. You wanna make sure that you're expecting these commands, you're expecting them to be long, if anything. Like, it's one thing that you're prepared with these commands. Like, if you're practicing them religiously during your training, it's gonna be a no-brainer during meet day. Be honest with yourself when you're giving yourself commands too, or have your training partner give you honest commands. Because most likely in meet, it's gonna feel longer than it was in training. So if you're prepared for that, you're gonna be in the best situation you can possibly be in.